Alright, what's up everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're recapping the game 3s from yesterday, April 20th, including the Sixers Nets, Kings Warriors, Clippers, and Suns games. Playoffs keep going. We keep making content like this. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do the content around here, consider subscribing. Like, turn notifications, stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, so I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. First game we had was Sixers and Nets game 3 in Brooklyn. This is a very weird game. I feel we all agree. A very weird game. The officiating was very weird. Early in this game, Joel Embiid and Nick Claxton got a little tangled up. Claxton dunked on Embiid. Claxton tried to step over and Embiid kicked him. Claxton got attacked, and Embiid got a flagrant 1 foul. Very surprised it wasn't a flagrant 2 and he got kicked out because he tried to kick Embiid, but I think they went with the thinking of like Claxton kind of enabled Embiid. Claxton kind of stepped over and forced Embiid to kind of or try to engage Embiid and do something. So maybe that's why they didn't do it. But honestly, kind of glad because then we get, we keep Joel in the game and can see what happens the rest of the game. The Nets got off to a great start. Nick Claxton was playing really well. Mikal Bridges hitting some shots. The Sixers looked a little sloppy early in this game. Throughout most of the first half, Embiid and the first quarter fell hard, had a back injury. He came out, but then eventually came back in. And yeah, the Nets are playing really, really well. James Harden was trying to get into the flow of things. Cam Thomas finally got some minutes. He came in and hit a couple shots. The Sixers led 58-47 at halftime because Tobias Harris was playing really well. Joel Embiid ending the first half on strong. Goes second half, the Nets, Mikal Bridges goes on a personal little run to bring him back, and then the Nets start hitting the shots. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton playing really well. Sixers getting a little sloppy. Joel Embiid not really being aggressive. Tyrese Maxey and James Harden, they were kind of just selling for shots at one point, and the Nets are playing a lot better. The Nets are just playing better than them, And then there's a play near the end of the third quarter where James Harden hits Royce O'Neal down low, and they call flagrant 2 on James Harden. He gets ejected. Very, very controversial. Don't agree with it at all. Did not feel like it was a flagrant 2. I could have saw a flagrant 1 potentially at the most, but flagrant 2 is very weird to see, and everyone was very confused by it. And yeah, because James Harden was finally starting to get aggressive, finally starting to get to the rim and do things, especially with Joel Embiid getting hurt a little bit early in the third quarter as well. He fell after trying to block a Cam Johnson layup, and his leg for the rest of the game is kind of a little gimpy. Yeah, the Nets take a lead going into the fourth. We go to the fourth quarter. Nick Claxton hits a big and 1, and he tries to stunt on Joel Embiid, and he gets thrown out because of the second technical. And I tweeted this, but I appreciate the energy, but you got to be a little smarter than that, man. He's having the best game of the series so far, and then he does that. He's got to be smarter. Got to be smarter than that. And then the Sixers going around them by Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid starts to get involved a little bit. Mikal Bridges, Royce O'Neal, those guys are still hitting shots. But Tyrese Maxey, man. Tyrese Maxey goes on a personal little 8-0 run. I'm sorry, 10-0 run. Or not 10-0, but personal little 10 run for the Sixers. Scored 10 straight points. Put the Sixers up by 3. Nets get fouled on a controversial kind of call on PJ Tucker. Spencer Dinwiddie hits the first, misses the second. And then the Nets come down. They miss a shot. Joel Embiid comes over, makes a huge block at Spencer Dinwiddie. PJ Tucker gets fouled, misses the first, makes the second. They come in. Royce O'Neal tries to inbound the pass, but inbounds it to no one because Mikal Bridges cuts to the rim. Sixers get the steal, and that steals the game. Sixers win 102-97 and take a 3-0 series lead. The Sixers shoot 49% from the field. They hit 13 threes. Nets shoot just 43% from the field, 33% from 3. Nets forced a lot of turnovers again, though. Nets forced 14 Sixer turnovers. They also had 7 more assists. Sixers killed them on the rebounding, 46-34. It was really just, honestly, it was the Nets' lack of a star that really hurt them in this game. Usually in the last few minutes, you got your star player, your go-to guy. It's like, all right, here you go, take us home. And the Nets didn't have that, and that was the downfall of why they lost this game. I feel like if they have a star player, like if they still have Kevin Durant or something on this team or whatever, or like a all-star go-to guy, they win this game. But they had to rely on moving the ball around and hopefully getting the shot off. Play some very solid defense in this game. But Tyrese Maxey was the go-to guy for Philly when James Harden got ejected. It was Tyrese Maxey, and he played his butt off the last two games. 25, 3 and 3 today. Shot 10 for 17, 5 for 8 from 3. Harden at 21, 5 and 4 and 4 getting ejected. Tobias at 15 and 7. Joel 14 and 10 shot only took 13 shot attempts in this game. And then Anthony Mellon put in 12 off the bench. But yeah, it's very interesting to think about, honestly, because last game is kind of similar. The Nets got a great first half, great first like 2.5 quarters, but then Tyrese Maxey showed up big in the second half. He's the only one being aggressive, and that eventually led to a Sixers win. In this game, it was very close. Tyrese Maxey has to score 10 straight points for the Sixers to win. If you think about it, if Tyrese Maxey doesn't show up and play like he does the last two games, there's a really good possibility the Sixers are down in this series. Which is very insane to say. But Tyrese Maxey has been really the savior of this Sixer team. And yeah, great to see. Great to see. They need that. Especially if James Harden or Joel Embiid are going to play like this and they're going to get double teamed. They need another guy that they can rely on. And Tyrese Maxey's been the guy so far. But for Brooklyn, Mikal Bridges had a really nice game, 26, 6 and 5. Dinwiddie had 20 and 7 assists. He finally had a good shooting night. Claxton at 18 before getting ejected, and Cam Johnson at 17 points. But for the Nets, it sucks because I feel like really they did their best in this game. This is the best they could have done, and they still lost. But yeah, I'd like to see some more Cam Thomas minutes. Cam Thomas only played 11 minutes, but he came in and was getting buckets when he did get minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith hasn't really shot well in this series. Neither has Royce O'Neal, even though Royce O'Neal's made a lot of other plays. But yeah, just really tough. We all know the Nets just don't have the personnel to match up with the Sixers, and if Tyrese Maxey's playing the way he's playing, giving a third kind of energy to the Sixers, then it's gonna be really tough for the Nets to do anything. So yeah, they're down 3-0, and won't be surprised if by Saturday. Oh, when's the next time they play? Saturday, I would assume. Yeah, Saturday. Might be over. The season might be over for Brooklyn. Next game we had was the Kings-Warriors game 3. No Draymond in this game, but the Warriors are back in Golden State. Very slow start for both teams. Yeah, it was very, very slow scoring game. But the Warriors making it happen. Andrew Wiggins was hitting shots. Clay hitting some shots. Moses Moody came in and played pretty well in the first quarter. Dr. DiVincenzo had a layup at the end of the first, make it 29-20 at the end of the first quarter. Go to the second, the Kings bench is trying to make it a comeback. De'Aaron as well is on fire from 3, but Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins playing really well. And then Kevon Looney, man. Kevon Looney had an amazing game. He was all over the glass in this game. So many rebounds, had some nice passes. He was doing everything. The Warriors led 53-41 at the end of the first half after Steph Curry hits a couple shots. Yeah, we go to the third quarter, and the Kings are trying to make it come back. Harrison Barnes is being aggressive. Darren Fox, 10 shots, but guys like Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray aren't hitting. The bench didn't really bring the same energy as they did the first two games. And Steph Curry went insane in the third quarter, and that eventually won the game as the Warriors win 114-97. Look at the shooting. The Warriors shot 40% from the field. Kings shot just 38% from the field, hit 23% of their threes. Warriors also forced 15 Kings turnovers. They had 10 more assists, and the rebounding. Warriors out-rebounded the Kings 59-53 and had 18 offensive boards, and most of that was Kevon Looney. Steph had an amazing game, 36, 6 and 3, hit 6 3-pointers. Andrew Wiggins had 20 and 7. Jordan Poole had 16 points as he started. He shot 4 for 13, 1 for 7 from 3, but he got to the free throw line. Clay and Moses Moody each had 13, but Kevon Looney, 4 points, 20 rebounds, 9 assists. I think he had 9 offensive boards. He was insane in this game. He had got so many offensive rebounds for second chance opportunities and stuff, and that really won him this game for Golden State. Meanwhile, for Sacramento, De'Aaron at 26, 9 and 9. Harrison Barnes at 17. Sabonis at 15 and 16. Kevin Huerter at 13, but he shot 6 for 12 and 1 for 6 and 3. Keegan Murray's had a very tough time throughout the first 3 games of the series. He hasn't really done much. And then the bench. One big thing why the Kings were up 2-0 is the bench was providing a lot of energy. Today, the Kings bench didn't do any of that. Malik Monk was 1 for 9. Davion Mitchell was 2 for 6. Trey Lyles didn't make a shot. Alex Len didn't take a shot. He made all field goals. Terrence Davis was 1 for 4. Like, the bench didn't really bring the scoring punch that has been a big factor for them in this series. And that lost them this game. The bench, and then giving up the offensive boards. And Kevon Looney getting in there in the offensive boards. And now the Warriors down 2-1 now. And next game is another game that they need to win like this. They can't lose next game. The Warriors need to win. Come out next game with the same energy, hitting shots. Defensively, they're a lot better in this game as well. And come out and they need to come out and play like this with this same intensity and aggression and tie the series up if they want a chance of winning. For Sacramento, they need to shoot better. Obviously, they need to box out. But they need their bench. Honestly, I think their big thing is their bench. They need their bench, like guys like Malik Monk and Trey Lyles and Davion Mitchell, to come back and bring the same energy that they did in the first two games, and start hitting their shots again. That's a big factor. They're one of the best benches in the league this year, and yeah, they need that if they want to take a big 3-1 series lead going back home. In the final game three, we had Suns, Clippers. No Kawhi Leonard, which was really, really, really disappointing, man. Super, super disappointing. But Clippers still kept the game. The Clippers had a great start in this game. Norman Powell got the start. He was really good. Russell Westbrook was doing well. The Suns' Devin Booker still hot from last game. Was hitting shots. It was a very close first quarter. It was a tie game at the end of the first. Marcus Morris hit a crazy bank three-pointer that should not have went in. But it's whatever. Started the second quarter, Devin Booker still being Devin Booker. But the Clippers bench, Bones Highland is bringing some intensity. Marcus Morris is hitting jumpers. Norman Powell is doing his thing. Russell Westbrook is playing really well. But the Suns lead 54-51 after Kevin Durant, Chris Paul hitting some shots at the end of the second. We go to the third quarter. The Suns put up 40 in the third. Mostly Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, man. Those two were on fire, especially Devin Booker hitting shots. Clippers were trying. Russell Westbrook was trying his best out there. Norman Powell as well. But the Clippers, after those two, the Clippers, others weren't really giving as much. Like the wings and the big man weren't really showing up. In this game, we go to the fourth, and the Clippers are really trying to bring him back. Bones Highland is playing. Terrence Mann is playing really well. But it was just the defense, man. The Clippers just didn't have enough defensively to match up with the Suns, especially with Devin Booker as hot as he was. And the Suns win 129-124, taking a 2-1 series lead. Clippers actually shot better from the field. Clippers shot 54%, the Suns were 48%. Clippers also hit 15 threes, Suns only hit 10 threes. But the Suns forced 18 Clipper turnovers, and the defense. Devin Booker, an amazing game, 45, 6, and 3 with 3 steals, 2 blocks, shot 18 for 29. He was phenomenal in this game, getting any bucket he wanted to. KD also was really good, 28, 6, and 5. Torrey Craig had 15. And yeah, this was in the game where I thought, well, DeAndre Ayton had a big game on the rebounding end. He had 11 boards. But I thought this game was going to be needed because Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton needed to step up and be the guy. But then again, that's also before I knew Kawhi Leonard wasn't going to be playing this game. But yeah, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant really carried this team to victory. For the Clippers, Norman Powell had 42 points, shot 15 for 20. I think he had 7 threes. He was on fire in this game. And Westbrook had an amazing game as well, 38 and 12. Bones Highland put up 20 off the bench. Terrence Mann had 10. But yeah, Eric Gordon had a tough shooting day. Zubac only played 22 minutes. Nick Batum still hasn't done anything in this playoff series. And yeah, man, the Clippers just need. Clippers' last two games, their downfall has been the second half. Their role players have kind of fallen down. Zubac and Plumlee are now getting outplayed by DeAndre Ayton again. Eric Gordon had a good game one, but since then hasn't really had great games. Nick Batum, I don't think has hit a 3-pointer in this series. Marcus Morris finally got some minutes, and he didn't do that much. Honestly, they should just start Robert Covington at this point. At least Robert Covington is going to give you something on the defense, man, for the Clippers. But yeah, Nick Batum, I think, should be taken out of the starting lineup, even when Kawhi comes back. They just don't have. He just hasn't really done anything in this series. And they should probably start Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann has been playing very well. And probably go small, maybe. Go Westbrook, Gordon, Kawhi, Mann, and Zubac. Early in the year, I think Terrence Mann was their starting guard. Why not start him at this point for the Clippers? But yeah, honestly, I feel like if Kawhi is in this game, I think the Clippers will win it because Norman Powell has such a good game. Westbrook had a good game. But then also, again, maybe Bones Highland doesn't have the impact, but then you substitute that with Kawhi. But also, the Suns didn't have the third guy. They didn't have a Chris Paul, DeAndre, and really step up on the offensive end and take big steps. And the bench also didn't do that much either for Phoenix. So I think, honestly, if Kawhi's in this game, they win it. But the Clippers had a very valiant effort without him. But yeah, hopefully we see Kawhi game 4, and he has a big game, and they tie up this series, man. Because this is a really fun series, super super fun series, and I want to see it go far. I honestly do. I want to see it go far because I think it'd be very fun to see. But yeah, those are all the games from yesterday. Some pretty solid games. Yeah, I'm very excited. Keep it going. We got more game 3s today. Very excited to watch them. And yeah, thank you guys for views on the vids again. If you do this content, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. Really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.